Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast.
What's happening, guys? Dave the Film Junkie here. Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast. How's it going? And I hear you saying, "How are you doing, Dave?" Well, I don't really actually hear you saying that, but I think maybe you're thinking it. What's going on with Dave? Well, guys, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I mean, obviously, Comic-Con and everything that's happened and all that stuff, that was great. A lot of great stuff came out of Comic-Con, a lot of emotions running high, a lot of things. But in my personal life, I'm currently looking for a new place to live. And that's never fun. It's not fun. Moving's not fun. Looking for a place, not fun. And why am I looking for another place? Well, I've told you guys before that I've been renting out my friend's back house that he has, and he decided to sell the house. Oh! Well, no, it's not short notice or anything. Don't think that he's like being a dick. Now he told me, and just things that were I told you guys I went back to my previous job, and things there were a little weird. And so I was kind of like, okay, well, he's gonna put the house on the market. It's gonna take a bit before it sells. Of course, it's not gonna take that long. Even other people were like, hey, don't worry, it'd probably take a few months or whatever the hell. No, it sold pretty quick. It sold quickly. So I was like, oh shit. So for the past week and a half, I've been really just looking for a new place to live. It's been fun, not really at all. Today, luckily, though, I've made some pretty good leeway with the whole thing. I was at this apartment complex a few towns over, actually the town I grew up in, and basically, did the whole thing. I already filled out the application, did the whole thing, brought everything I needed, and talked to the girl that was there, tried to flirt a little. Hey, sometimes flirting can help. But what sucks is, when it comes to apartments and stuff like that, especially like nice ones, it's a nice little apartment, and I'm at a place now where I can actually afford something decent, I'm not just going to like rent out someone's back house again. I only did that because he offered, and, he turned his garage into a nice little back house, a little cozy little spot, and he offered it to me, and it was, very cheap rent, and I was able to save, and I was able to make some nice little upgrades. Like, I got a new bed! That's always a nice upgrade. Something that we should always upgrade to, because, it's fucking a third of your life right there, guys. Come on. You gotta make those necessities when it comes to sleep, even though, like, sleeping can become difficult for me at times. Anyways, so I went to this one place today, and filled it all out. She did the whole looking at the application's good. Oh, look at my pay stubs and bank statements to see what I make. Oh, okay, everything checks out. But sadly, and I even put in like a little holding deposit. But sadly, there is somebody else that already did something like that. And I was like, fuck. So I'm sitting, and now I'm like, oh man, please, 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 let this, because it's a nice little spot. I love the town, and it's right by the freeway. Take me 20 minutes to get to work. The commute is cut down, which is always a plus. And yeah, guys, so that's what I've been doing, and it's been difficult. That's why I didn't see a movie tonight. I was going to go see the Christopher Robin movie because the child inside me wanted to see some poo. That's weird. I know, I said that very strange. Winnie the Pooh. I very much grew up on Winnie the Pooh. So I was looking forward to that movie, but it's just I was doing that, and I just, lack of sleep this week. It's been difficult, stuff. So yeah, it's been nuts, guys. So, but hopefully that works out. and hopefully I can move into that place. If not, I'm gonna obviously continue moving on. I'm just or continue looking for a new place. It just sucks that I have to wait because she said, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see what's going on with the other person and blah blah blah. So fingers, toes, eyes, and balls crossed, guys. Please. I mean, I want to move to this place. I really do. And it'll be a place that hopefully with everything, with, my job, which sounding like it's going to be okay. Because, it was a little weird for when I first started back. It was like, oh, we're expecting an influx of work. But now it kind of didn't really happen. But then now other things happen. And it's like, and I've showed like, oh, yeah, well, I have talents in this department, and this department, this department. One thing you got to do, guys, it's another life advice, for you youngins out there. My hip hurts. What, I'm giving advice to young people? What the fuck? Weird. I still feel like a child because, well, I drink out of a Batman coffee mug. Come on. Anyways, if you get into a certain field, and there's multiple departments, don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid. I always hate it, and I've said this before, I always hate it when people go, "This is not my job description. I didn't fucking get hired for this. I wasn't supposed to do this." Fuck you. They're paying you to be here. If they want you to do something else, do it. Take on the task. Learn something. Learn something that you don't know. And I've done that in the field that I've worked in, and some people, if you guys, I think I might have mentioned a little bit. Some people, I work for an engineering company that basically does work for various telecom companies, and my main job is to draw out plans for these companies, your Verizons, your Time Warner, Spectrums, whatever the fuck. The big companies that are trying to like place fiber, to try to upgrade whole cities and everything. And basically, they contract out all that work. I mean, it's crazy. I've been in this industry. I started off as a cable guy, and now here I am designing. And that's what I do. I design. I'm like, okay, they're gonna place conduit with fiber right here, and blah blah blah. And then we got to get permits for it. We got to draw traffic control. It's basically what I initially do, but in this industry, I also have been like, oh, well, I'll also work on this part, and then this part, and then this part, and I've learned the trades. I've done fielding, I've gone out and spray painted the fucking streets and been like, hey, you're gonna dig right here. Tell us what's right here. Is there a water line? We don't want to fucking hit it, stuff like that. So I've learned as much as I can. So coming back to this company with, that I worked before that has all new management, they didn't realize that, wow, they got a Renaissance man on their hands. So that's where I'm like, yeah, oh, wait, you need somebody to do that? I can do that. Oh, you need somebody to do that? I can do that. Yeah, like I've only been back for a month, and my boss has been like, damn, he's just been impressed. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Can I get a raise? No, you can't say that after a month. Of course, I'm drinking my vodka. The vodka stream! That might be something in the future, guys. A lot of people have been talking about that. Hey, you're going to do, like, when it came to Comic-Con, everybody was like, you're going to do a vodka stream? And I'm like, that sounds like a good title for something, Not necessarily talking about movie stuff, even though sometimes, I talk about random stuff like I am now, but I'm just saying, like, just overall, have like a late night, just, hey, let's just bullshit about whatever, but of course, I love movies, so it's kind of hard to stray away from that. But yeah, guys, so I mean, things are shaping up. Hopefully I get this place, and if not, it's whatever. I'll just I'll continue to look and hopefully find something and just settle in, But for the most part, everything's looking pretty good. Even my channel, it took a huge spike, of course, with Comic-Con. That's what's so great about, that too, is like, that day was just, it was all about just, everything that came out. Okay, let me do a video about that, edit it real quick. Oh shit, they just dropped the trailer. Bam! Get that out. And it was almost like everything was it just lined up perfectly. I mean, of course I was, sitting there, God damn it, my computer's taking so long. Why? And just, when are they going to drop it? Refresh. I mean, but that's part of the fun. That is part of the fun of it. And when people ask me, why don't you go to Comic-Con? I mean, you live in California, and I am like less than 2 hours away from San Diego. Why don't you go? And I'm like, yeah, eventually I will. Probably next year. But the fact of the matter is, I always say this, I'm like, well, first off, it's hot. It's been really hot in Southern California, everywhere pretty much. Which is why when my short videos, you see the shoulders come out, that's why! I swear, man, there are guys that probably question their sexuality that just get really, they get awkward when they watch my videos that just show my shoulders and my neck and my traps, I should say. I don't have one. It's just very strange. It's like, God, I'm not shooting nipples up. I'm not like naked here. Some people wonder if I'm naked. I'm not. Sometimes just in my undies. Or like board shorts, And I get home and, living in a back house that was once a garage, this place absorbs heat. So, yes, I get home from work, I turn on all the AC, all the ceiling fans, and I strip down to my skeebies, sometimes all the way. And I'm just like, first off, the first thing I actually do, I actually just jump into the shower and rinse off, cold shower, just to fucking, do that. So that's why and it's just so funny how there's guys out there. It's like, why are you making a comment on this? You are seriously struggling with your sexuality. And then when you look at their Twitter, it's like, yeah, you really are. If you're doing fucking Snapchat filters, puppy dog eyes and shit. Yeah, okay. I think you find me attractive. Anyways. But yeah, so I don't make it over, down there. Because, I'm the only one running my shit. Only one running my channel. Sadly, my website, which I'm doing a terrible job at. When it comes to doing both, I mean, it's just so hard. Like, you know what happens? This is what happens with me. And this is one of the things I really need to change about myself. I should be posting my videos on my site, but I haven't done it in almost a month. Because it gets to a point where it's like, oh, shit, I haven't done it in a week. And then I just go, oh, God, I don't want to take the time to do that because it gets tedious. I really should hire somebody to fucking just post videos on my site for me, Even though I could easily do it myself, and it becomes such a tedious thing because I've done it for so long, and even before all this, before like big time film junkie stuff, I did it on a website when I was doing the tech Android stuff. It just gets so tedious, and I'm just like, I don't want to, because I'm gone 10 hours a day. I try to just try to keep sane and everything. I don't know, and so I haven't done it in a while. I need to update that. I will this weekend for sure. But, it's just me doing it, and I'm like, first off, it's hot. Second off, there's a lot of people. Excuse me. And then thirdly, it's like, okay, when shit's coming out, I can't do videos. And that's part of the fun for me. To me, it's like, I'd rather just be sitting in front of my computer waiting for stuff to come out and then doing reactions or doing news, updating everybody, in the air conditioning, But I think if I do go, like, next year, I'll probably just, I won't go that Saturday when the big shit happens. Maybe I'll go, the Friday or Thursday or Friday. I don't know. I do want to go and just walk the floor and see what's up, see who I see the various cosplay costumes. Because some people come up with some goddamn elaborate shit, which is just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, guys. And then maybe I'll have somebody that could be like, hey, I'm going to record a video. I'm going to send it to you and get it up on the channel, get it up on the site. Do something like that. But right now, I'm just a solo operation. That's how I came up with the name Dave Solo, because I'm so... God, by far the worst part about the Solo movie was the way that they came up with the name. Oh, so, like, come on. I enjoyed the shit out of the movie. Not everything, but I enjoyed it for the most part. But that part was like, really? That's how his name was Han Solo? Oh, God. Anyways, so yeah, I'll get there one of these days, guys. But, hey, let's talk about final. I don't want to really talk about it anymore after this, because I've even expressed it on a short video that I did, a little video I did a couple days ago, the James Gunn situation. Oh my God. Sorry, chewing on something. You know, I'm gonna drink some vodka now. So, the James Gunn thing. Still around. And it's very interesting with everything that's going on with it. Because, I mean, a lot of people are just looking at it like a Marvel versus DC thing. And I've said, a few times that it's more than that. It's way more than that. It really shows you where our society is at the moment. A little scary, and just flat out, just like, yeah, this is where we are right now. So let's go back to the beginning. Basically, what started this whole thing was Mark Duplass. A lot of you know who that is. If you're not, just Google him right now. His picture will come up, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. He's funny. He makes some good content. He makes some good movies and stuff like that. And he does. I like the guy. But he's very much he very much gets into the politics of things. But the thing is, I mean, he's very much liberal. Hard liberal. Which everybody in Hollywood pretty much is. So, okay, just making sure. I was looking at my my recording thing here. Because before, I had a little glitch that was happening where, like, clicks would happening. You hear, like, and I thought that was happening right now, but it wasn't. Anyways. So he's very much has tried to bridge gaps, between the right and the left, which I respect the shit out of. I would absolutely love it. A lot of people think I'm a fucking, a stormtrooper. I've been called that. Everybody's, I've been called I'm a Nazi sympathizer, Nazi apologist, a Trumper, I've been called it all just because even on here that I've talked about certain things for like 5 whole minutes, and then now it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fit you for a MAGA hat. Like, yeah, no, did not vote for the guy. I think he's, for the most part, a moron. There are good things. I will praise the good things that he's done, and laugh too when people just melt down at everything that he does, because it's just sad that there are people waiting for him to tweet something or waiting for him to just. What is he going to do next? Oh my God, worst thing ever! And I'm like, dude, all he did was smile. He's smiling! What? End of the world! I'm like, whoa there. And that's pretty much where James Gunn fits in. He's part of that. I had to unfollow him a while back because he would not shut the fuck up about Trump. He just constantly talking about Trump. And it's crazy how much people do that. And I'm like, God damn. Don't you have a fucking big-ass, high-budget comic book movie to fucking do? Why are you doing this? Just shut the fuck up and do what you do best. Please. So, when it came to the Mark Duplass thing, he had a discussion with Ben Shapiro, who's very much a conservative. And I follow Ben Shapiro. I've even retweeted stuff. Ben Shapiro very much does not like the MCU. Very much is a fan of Batman vs. Superman. He's tweeted that out. And a lot of people, like, it's funny to see the reaction. Like, oh my God, Ben Shapiro, wait a minute, he's a Nazi. He's a fucking homophobic. And I've even seen people say that, oh, he's a Trump supporter, this, that, and then. I'm like, no, Ben Shapiro didn't even vote for Trump. He's not a Trump supporter, even though he's a conservative. He's very much got his own opinion. He'll, like, praise Trump when he needs to, but for the most part, he has criticized Trump a lot. And I'm like, but if you're going to call him a Nazi, think about that when you look at the yarmulke on his head. He's a Jewish man. Very much. Hardcore Jewish. So I highly doubt he's a Nazi. Anyways. It's just sad. That's just the world we live in. We just put these labels on people just because we disagree with them. It's fucking retarded. It's what's really ruining our society. Badly. So, Mark Duplass gave praise to Ben Shapiro. He said, I don't agree with the guy with a lot, but he's a nice gentleman, this, that, and this. And I've even thought the same thing, too. I'm like, yeah, Ben Shapiro, I don't agree with him, with everything. He could be a little pipsqueak, and whine about certain things where I'm like, shut the fuck up, Ben. But there's a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, totally, you nailed it. And when I see him debate with people, I'm like, you can't debate with this guy. This guy just knows. He's got facts. Facts. He's quick. He's, just quick with facts. So he gave praise, and then within 12 hours, overnight, the mob just came for Mark Duplass. And this just leads me back to the whole thing that I've said before, that people claim that they want to bridge gaps, with different political opinions, the right and the left, or certain things, other things too, that I'll get to. They claim that they want to do that. They want to come to a compromise, come to agreement. Bullshit! Absolute fucking bullshit. People do not want this. They'll fucking lie out of their fucking assholes that they do, but they actually don't. Because why? They won't be important anymore. The fact that they keep bitching about the other side, and this is for even our little community, the whole Marvel versus DC, and then Star Wars thing, and same thing. Oh, well, yeah, there's no such thing as that Marvel versus DC. It's bullshit. Oh, yeah, but you love it. You love it because you're constantly criticizing the other side. It makes you feel important. It makes you feel fucking entitled. And yeah, that's right. I know which movies are better. So ridiculous. So, yeah, these guys went after Mark Duplass. So then he, the next day, wrote a big, lengthy apology and said, I'm not a supporter of homophobia or racism. But basically, now all of a sudden, he said Ben Shapiro went from being a nice guy, reasonable guy, to, oh no, I don't sympathize with this fucking bigot. And it was just overnight because of the Twitter mob. And I was like, well, yeah, it makes sense because Mark Duplass has, he makes a lot of stuff that goes, Netflix, Sundance, just stuff that if you have the wrong opinion, you will get wiped out. It'll be done. You'll be done. And he's got people that work underneath him. So, of course, he had a save face. Oh, you can't agree with this conservative. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can't bridge this gap. People hate you now. You're gonna lose your fucking livelihood and this, that, and this. So he did that, and James Gunn was a part of that. So then, people on the conservative side, one being a guy named Mike Cernovich, who I follow as well because, I like to follow both sides. Cernovich is worse than Ben Shapiro, big time. Some of the stuff that he says, I'm like, fucking A, dude, shut the fuck up too. But there are things that I'll agree with him with that. It's great to follow both the right and the left, guys, because I don't subscribe to either one of the fucking sides. I just kind of go, oh, I agree with that, and I agree with that, and I agree with that. But I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with that. I'm not just one-sided on everything. That's the thing. Nowadays, we're so tribalistic. It's human nature that I can't even praise Infinity War or see somebody praise Infinity War without somebody from the DC side go, yeah, but fucking Tony Stark got stabbed and he was perfectly fine. It's like, that wasn't needed. Start pointing out shit. It's like, why did you have to do that? I just pointed out something I enjoyed, but you had to come in here and make a point about something because that's just the way things are. So, yeah, so that all happened, and then Cernovich and everybody and conservatives started digging up James Gunn's old tweets from 10 years ago, where he made some really fucking retarded, stupid pedo and rape jokes, and oh man, it was so awful. It just terrible. He was trying to be edgy and funny, and it came off just weird. Very, very fucking weird. So, of course, that came about, and then within 24 hours, Disney, of course, fired his ass from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And that was like, whoa. And it was funny, too, because a lot of people on the DC side were like, Disney's not going to do that. They're not going to fucking do that. And then they did it. And then those guys were like, and they just remained quiet. Because I'm telling you, I've defended, and I still will defend DC and the DCEU. But we've gotten to the point where everything is we got into the defensive so much. I'm so fucking tired now of hearing, yeah, but if it was DC, man, bloggers and everything, critics would say this, that, and this. I'm like, how do you know? You're just assuming that because of past events. And I get that. So if that does happen, then guess what? Then let's all just fucking come to the defense. But if you're going to use that as your excuse to be an asshole, it's not a good excuse. Shut the fuck up. Wait for that to happen. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then we can all have a discussion and come to the defense of it. You know, I'm tired of the knee-jerk shit. I've done it. I'm trying to be a little different. But people think, oh, you're just fucking policing, bro. Why are you policing everybody? I'm like, I'm not. I'm just saying, hey, let's be a better person. If you don't want to be, then fine. Continue to be a dipshit. And the Wall Street Journal will write about you. But again, at least the Wall Street Journal wrote about the Snyder Cut movement, and now it's out there, and more people know about it. But of course, everybody was just like, hippies, fuck these guys, fuck Fritz, ah! Like, no, I looked at it like, hey, yeah, it wasn't the article that you wanted, but guess what? Now more people know about the Snyder Cut movement. Yeah, it was shitty. It was a shitty article, and I've gone over it. I'm not going to go over it again. Anyways, so, yeah, you got fired. And, yeah, it was just crazy because then I saw DC fans having a side with people on the right. And they had to make it a point, too. Like, yeah, Mike Cernovich brought it up, and he's an asshole. Or the conservatives did that, but they're fucking pieces of shit. I get it. But, it's like, who fucking cares? You don't have to, like, I don't agree with that. It's like, shut up. You are agreeing with them. You are absolutely agreeing with them. But see, the thing is, when it came to James Gunn getting fired, regardless what you feel about it, I mean, and even how, with him, I mean, the way I look at it is, he did it to himself. He really did. Because if this was somebody else, if this was somebody on the right, he would totally try to ruin their livelihood too. He would do the same exact thing that people are doing to him. He fucking made his own bed. It's like fucking sleep in it, dude. And that's what scares the shit out of me, and that's what's so wrong with our society nowadays. And I've said this before. People do not want what happened in American History X. You guys know that movie, right? Fucking Nazi, Edward Norton, big-time Nazi, swastika on his fucking chest, curb stomping, just full-on white supremacist. Yeah. Goes to prison, comes out reformed, changed, no longer what he was before. And people claim they want that, but they don't fucking want that at all. You said something bad 30 years ago, people want your life. They don't want you to change. Oh, he's a different person now. Fuck you! Fire that man. Fire him. Take everything away from him. Because he said that. When I posted that Mark Wahlberg thing, God, I heard nothing but that. Oh, yeah, that racist piece of shit, this, that, and this. All because of something he did in the late 80s. I'm like, okay, is he that man now? I don't care. Fuck that racist. People don't want people to change. They claim they do. Oh, let's show these people the light. Oh, it's gonna come to our side. It'll be better. No. They want to fucking blow. They want to take a goddamn club to their kneecaps. And that's pretty much what was going on with James Gunn. It's like, okay, he said all that. Has he said anything like that recently? No. Okay. Should he be fired? To me, I don't think he should have. To be honest. But what's done is done. I don't think Disney should rehire him. That'd be dumb. That's stupid. Just move on. Let's all move on. But do I think he should initially have been fired? No. I don't. Am I defending his tweets? And that's the thing. If you say that, people will automatically, oh, you're defending him. You're defending him. No. Not even the Guardians of the Galaxy cast was defending him. They just thought it was unfair that he got fired because of old tweets. And it's a little scary. I mean, it's people who are acting like that and the things that are happening were like, oh, yeah, things you said 10 years ago. I mean, it must suck to be in Hollywood and to be a guy. It's the worst to be a guy in Hollywood right now. Every guy is going, oh, shit. Have I overly flirted with a girl in the past that's going to come back and haunt me? Have I said something in the past that's going to come back and haunt me and just totally ruin my life? That is Orwellian weird shit. Everybody is like worried about Trump being doing the 1984 Orwellian fucking dystopian future thing. I'm going, no, he's just saying stupid shit. And yeah, he's fucking with people that might blow us all to hell. But we got these other people who, if you said something bad 30 years ago, they want your goddamn life. That's big time fascism right there. You can't say that. Get him. I know a lot of people were like comparing it to the Roseanne thing too. And even I was like, yeah, I could see the comparisons, but at the same time I'm going, well, she said that now. He said that 10 years ago. But the similar thing is they're both on Ambien. And I'm going, nobody take Ambien. And I've even watched James Gunn's like old periscopes when he would talk, when he was all doped up on Ambien. You got to realize James Gunn is fucked up. He is. He's got issues. But at the same time, I'm like, what fucking artist doesn't? And I know some people are like, are you calling him an artist? I'm like, yes! Guardians of the Galaxy shouldn't have worked. He made it work. I love Slither. That movie is fucking great. I don't give a fuck what you think about James Gunn. That's fine. If you think he's a pedophile, fine. But the weird thing about that is nobody has come forward and said, hey, yes, I could totally, yeah, James Gunn, big time pedophile. He touched me. He tried to come on to me. I was 14 years old. That hasn't happened yet. That happened with Kevin Spacey. Still happens. In this day and age, with the information being so fast and quick, you could just get it out there and people just believe the victim more than anything else, more than due process. Nobody has come out against James Gunn saying that he tried to touch me when I was 14. But you know what's funny is, guys, those X-Men movies you love so much? Yeah. That director that's done most of them, quite a few people have come out against him. Nobody bats an eye. It's weird. And to me, I'm just like, well, okay, yeah, that's disgusting and sick, but I could still appreciate Bryan Singer's fucking, his talent that he had. I don't think he's ever going to come back. I mean, he basically just walked away from Bohemian Rhapsody because of all the shit that's going on. And he should. That motherfucker, he's showing guilt. Big time. But it's just funny how that doesn't get brought up. People are making it seem like James Gunn was way worse than shit that Bryan Singer's had allegations from people, from young boys, saying that, yes, Bryan Singer is a pedo. Nobody gives a fuck. And they're praising the shit out of Days of Future Past and the first X-Men movies. But James Gunn cracks stupid-ass fucking jokes. Oh, fuck this guy. He's fucked up. He's stupid. He should be thrown in jail. Ruin his life. He should have been fired. Okay. I'm just trying to keep up, guys. When I tell people, I just try to step back and look at everything, and they go, oh, yeah, you're fucking retarded for doing that. No. You got to take in everything. I mean, why is it that that's the case? Why is Bryan Singer's fucking movies being praised when he's had numerous allegations against him for pedophilia? And nobody bats an eye, it seems. It's weird. But that's just me. So, I don't think Disney's going to rehire them. And it's funny, too, how like everybody was retweeting like the Variety article. Yeah, I don't think Disney's going to rehire. I'm like, oh, so now with one source to the movie that claim that they don't think that they're going to rehire him. And the fact that, yeah. But everybody's like, yeah, see? It's just, I don't know. It's gotten to a point where I'm just like, what the fuck, people? Okay, you only believe, there's people that just only believe rumors when it fits what they want. But when it goes against what they don't want, they start calling and slandering out that person. And, I'm all about, throwing shade at Scoopy Pants because that guy's a fucking idiot. His website's just garbage. Con Radical, who wants Venom to fail because it's not in the MCU. My God, did I see that guy's profile picture? Go look at that guy's profile picture. He looks like a date rapist. With an MCU cut, I don't know. He's such a fuck. I mean, yeah. Go ahead and slam that guy all you want. But I've also seen a lot of people go like, oh, yeah, look at this. He said this about the Batman movie or the Man of Steel 2. All because it's like, oh, because he said something you wanted to hear. But every other time, when he says something you don't want to hear, you fucking slam him. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Especially when shit gets taken out of context. And it's happened to me too. Don't worry. Like I said, even on here. You know, the fact of the matter is I wasn't playing right with the fucking full-on Snyder cut movement. You know? A lot of pushback that I got for saying that Snyder wasn't going to be at Comic-Con. I got pushback from that. I got pushback from a lot of... I got slammed for a lot of shit that week of Comic-Con. It was a fucking tiring week, guys. And you guys know this. It was a tiring week because I got just fucking hounded. And I'm just like, I'm just going by what I've heard. I hope it's wrong, but yeah. A lot of people got on me because I wasn't playing nice with that whole thing. And I don't believe in doing certain things with this movement. I'm like, there's so many people that are giving this Snyder Cut movement such a bad name. And that's why that Wall Street Journal fucking article went after that. But it could have been so much worse. There are people out there with this movement that make it so much worse. When people claim the Snyder Bros, which I hate that fucking term. I hate that title. Or, this, you know, DC fans. It's those people that they see. These people that just fucking act like goddamn entitled children. Just have temper tantrums. Those are the people. And I'm sitting here going, yes, I'm talking to somebody who works with Snyder, who's telling me stuff. You don't want to believe me, and then all of a sudden it's true. I mean, but luckily, and I know it's mostly you guys, like probably 99.9, that were like, I had people even go like, man, you deserve an apology. They were saying that shit. I could have gloated like a motherfucker. Comic-Con. But I'm not that asshole that these people perceive me as. I wasn't going to be like, see? Snyder wasn't there. I was right. I'm not fucking Scoopy Pants. That motherfucker does that. So does Con Radical. And some various others. Those guys do that shit. I wasn't about to do that. I'm sorry. When Snyder was definitely not going to be there and there was no mention of the Snyder Cut or nothing, I didn't fucking go on Twitter or make a video like, see? See? And I'm sure there were a lot of people out there that were, if Snyder was going to show up, they were going to fucking hound me. They were waiting to hound me. Grow up. Please. Grow the fuck up. Patience, too. Also patience. You know, we could still discuss the Snyder Cut. We could still discuss the stuff that we love. I'm not saying that we don't have to do that. But let's just be reasonable here, you know? People wanted that ultimate victory during Comic-Con. They didn't get it, so they lashed out. You know, they continue to, like, just go, and I see stuff, and I'm like, fuck. You know? It's like, just be patient, you know? And then it's funny, because a lot of people don't want to believe, like, my source, and I'm like, you know, it's already been proven that he is legit. He's told me things. He even told me that the first Robin was Dick. At first they wanted, that Snyder wanted the dead Robin to be Dick. He wanted to be Grayson. I said that in a video back in April. And then all of a sudden he confirmed it on Vero and everyone was like, oh! And I'm like, I fucking said this. Ugh. So, yeah. And then, you know, I catch myself just kind of looking at the way people present themselves. You know, Infinity War just came out on video. Great. I watched it the other night. Still great. And I will praise the shit out of that movie. I was big time impressed by the MCU with Infinity War. Is it a perfect movie? No! There are moments in there where I'm like, Jesus Christ. Did Quill really need to fucking mock Thor and do his voice? That's fucking retarded. That was a dumbass fucking joke, whatever the hell it was. I thought that was stupid. There's some stupid jokes in there, yes. But overall, movie's great. You got people, other people posting stuff that they enjoyed about Infinity War. People who are DC fans. And then you got the big time, you know, the boycotters that are going to boycott Aquaman and Shazam and everything, going in there going, yeah, but, the fucking, what I have, let's put some realism in there. I'm like, there are human beings, one human being who's in an iron suit on a moon of Saturn fighting a Titan god with superheroes with super abilities around him, one being a wizard, and you want realism? What the fuck? People take this shit way too seriously. Oh, no, but, you know, Batman getting, you know, slammed through a building and then thrown into the bat signal and then just gets right up. That's realism. Dude, he had the mech suit on, man. That protected him. No. You gotta suspend disbelief with this shit. When we read comic books, are we thinking about, oh, is this real? No. So take that with movies. Take that with these kind of movies. You know, I constantly go like, it's a fucking movie. You know how many times that I go like, how could fucking Batman take on Superman? Come on. And then I kind of briefly explain it, and then I go, you know what? It's not real. Who cares? It's not real. Just like stuff that happens in Infinity War. Yes, Tony got stabbed. He got stabbed in the side of his gut, and he still lived. Fine. It was still shocking when it first happened. I remember the entire theater going, ooh, that made me cough. Everybody gasped. That's exactly what they wanted. And we thought, oh shit, Tony's a goner. And guess what? He ended up not being, which was also a twist. And then half the crew went away. I'm like, there you go. Good job, Russos and MCU. You impressed me here. I did not expect you to go this way. But I can't, it's hard to even explain that to certain people. And it's mainly, like I said, it's mainly the fucking extreme people who are planning on boycotting and are talking shit about Shazam. So this is where, yeah, look at Shazam. It's totally MCU. I'm like, it's a movie about a kid who becomes a superhero. It's not supposed to be dark. Relax. And you know what I kept hearing and seeing in reactions, and you know, I thought about it too. That trailer did not give me a full-on, like, campy, like, lighthearted MCU vibe. It was darker than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I had faith in Sandberg, but man, that trailer really just was like, yep, alright, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. He's taking this character and he's making something. Crazy. So, you know, I'm not trying to police anybody, and I know I'm being accused of that big time. I'm also being accused for having great shoulders. I guess, I don't know, some of these guys are jealous of that. I don't know. Sorry, I try to keep in shape. You know, I try to eat as, you know, good as possible. I work out. I'm all about keeping up your fitness. If I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't be able to fucking have this full-time job and then having this YouTube channel. You know, I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, guys, I literally, like I said, I'm gone 12 hours a day sometimes because I go to work and I have a commute, so that I had to take in that. And then, you know, I come, and then when I leave work, I go to the gym, and then I come home, and then I do videos. It's not easy to do. And sleep does not come easy for me sometimes. So try to do that on 4 hours of sleep. Try. And that's the thing. Like, these people that come after me, whether it be on the DC side or the Marvel side, it's like, you try to do this, you know? Not easy. So the James Gunn thing, I want it to go away. I don't know. Disney's not going to rehire them. That'd be very stupid on their part. Who knows what's going to happen with Guardians of the Galaxy? That's going to be interesting. Do I think he should have been fired? Not really. I think he should have had a public apology. I mean, I remember that I even was misinformed because I was so sick of it that I didn't really look into it. I thought he apologized for those tweets 6 years ago. But turns out he apologized for other things that he wrote on like a blog. So I'm like, oh, okay. So the way I look at it is like, you know, everybody who's worked with him always says how great of a guy he is and this, that, and this. They're not defending his tweets at all. but people are making it seem like, oh, these guys are defending pedophilia. It's crazy. Like, now people in this community are now realizing that there are movements out there that have been around for years that are trying to normalize pedophilia. They're trying to add it to the LGBT shit. And now I've been seeing, like, people, like, in the comic book movie world going, oh my God, look what they're trying to do. I'm like, dude, they've been trying to do this for fucking 2-3 years. Welcome to the party, pal! Yeah, it took James Gunn's fucking tweets for you to realize this? That they're trying to add pedophilia to the LGBTQRSTUV supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. They're trying to add it to it. They're trying to normalize pedophilia like it's a sexuality. Crazy. We live in a fucking weird world, a weird society right now. But I just don't believe... I don't believe that people actually want these people to evolve or change or anything like that. They don't want somebody to, like, actually change. They're like, oh, you said this 10, 20, 30 years ago. I want your life. Suck the fucking... Hey, Shang Tsung, suck the soul out of this motherfucker. He deserves it from what he said. It's bullshit, man. It's not a world we should live in. It's not a world we should live in, guys. We need to stop that crap. All right, let's answer some questions now. How about that? Let's get a little lighthearted here. More lighthearted. All right. Michael Manette. He asks, have you ever read Dark Knight's Metal? And if you have, do you think DC should make an animated movie or just leave it as a comic? I have yet to read the Metal series. I really want to. From what I've seen, it looks fantastic. And I do believe that they will eventually do an animated movie. Yeah. They're going to do Hush! They're going to do Batman's Hush! That's like one of my favorite Batman stories. My God. Cannot wait for that. I still need to watch the Death of Superman animated movie. I'll watch it this weekend, do a quickie review. Tevin Antwi, he asks, after seeing the video done by Comic Movie Marks on YouTube, Comic Movie Marks, not sure who that is, realized that WB screed Snyder like they did Donner, and the whole situation was Jeff Johns. And surprise, surprise, Donner was also going for a more gritty take on Superman like Snyder. Yeah. And I just wish the guy with the ball cap would recognize that and acknowledge Snyder a little bit. Like on that Collider interview, I was like, come on! Just say something about the new Superman. Come on! You're all about this new grittier Aquaman. Can't you be like that with the fucking... But I liked some things Johns had to say. Like I said before, whatever side of the fucking coin you're on with Johns, you're not going to convince the other side. And guess what? They made their proper rearrangements, and now Johns is doing the thing that he should do. And hopefully Green Lantern Corps is going to be fucking amazing. I'm rooting for that. If you're not rooting for that, fuck you. Fuck you. Just because of what I heard Johns do to Snyder. Yes, so did I. I heard more than you. And I'm like, God damn, that guy's an asshole. But I still want him to succeed with Green Lantern Corps. Grow up. It's crazy how, like, you click your hashtag, and there's ads within that hashtag. God damn, Twitter. Sam, the sci-fi Stan. Sam Parker Metal. So, is Last Photograph Zach's next full-on film then? Wonder who would be cast. Probably no one from the DCEU. No, don't say that. He has worked with the same people. Why would you think that? I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Patrick Wilson showed up. Depending on what it's everything. Hey, fucking Ben Affleck could be in there. Henry Cavill could be in there. Don't totally wipe that out. Yeah, Last Photograph's going to be next full-on film. Hey, guess what? Fiona, leader of the Snyder Cut movement, I didn't realize this, but 3 days ago, she said Fountainhead's going to be a 12-part series. Yes, that's what I was told from my source. And I did a video about it. And a lot of people didn't believe me. I'm not trying to gloat. I'm just trying to say, hey, sometimes maybe listen to me. Maybe. A little bit. But there's going to be a certain little portion, small portion, thankfully, that's not going to. And they're going to call me clowns and fake fans and whatever the fuck. They're going to call me that. Scarzon asks, any movies you regret not seeing multiple times on the biggest screen possible? For me, Man of Steel, Dunkirk, Blade Runner, and Annihilation. Pretty much all those. I only saw all those once in the theater. I wish I saw them multiple times. So I agree with you, yeah. But whatever. I watched Annihilation not too long ago. It's still great. Blade Runner, still great. Everything's great on your little list. It's all good. It's all good. So you got to sniff out when they do the anniversary ones and you can rewatch them again. Yes! Sorry. Giants just took a massive lead right now. 7-1 against Arizona. They just scored a bunch of runs right now. 3 runs to be exact. Sorry. Let's see. Clayton. Claytalian. Yes. Also, my reasoning for this... Oh. Let me click the show this thread. I know you, myself, and many others want a Man of Steel 2 with Supergirl and Brainiac, but I was thinking maybe save them for Man of Steel 3. My Man of Steel 2 would be focused on Lex, Connor Kent / Superboy, and Bizarro. Thoughts? P.S. A post-credit scene would have Supergirl pod crashing. I like it. I like it a lot. I would actually want Justice League to take on Brainiac to be... Kinda. I want that, but I also would just want Superman to take on Brainiac. Yeah, it'd be cool to see Lex. Superboy, that's very random. Bizarro, I can see that because Lex, he created Doomsday. Maybe he'll, that would be actually kind of cool because it's like, hey, Lex, he created Doomsday, but he did it on the Kryptonian ship. He's going to try to do it himself somehow. Maybe got some kind of DNA or whatever from the Kryptonian ship. I mean, Superman was bleeding on the cheek, right? Maybe he got some of that. From Batman, by the way. So he tries to create a clone, and then, of course, Bizarro turns into Bizarro. Why not? Superboy thing? Could be an added thing. I'm not really even too jazzed up about Supergirl. I know one of the pods in the Kryptonian ship was like, oh, fuck, was she in there? Who knows if they're going to go back to that. That was part of Snyder's vision. Clayton also asked, my reasoning for this idea is just to change it up from an alien invasion plot like the first Man of Steel. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. It shouldn't be. And I hope they don't do that. Diablo Mutant asks, hey Dave, do you think this Kraven the Hunter movie by Sony will take off? Or do you think Sony are making mistakes and should let go of these licenses that they have? Well, it all depends on how Venom turns out. And Venom's looking excellent. I think Venom is going to be, it's their toe in the fucking pool, like trying to test out the waters. They want to see how that does, and then they want to do more movies with villains. That's the shift that I think that studios are trying to make. It's like, hey, we've been doing these superhero movies, the good guy, the good guy, the good guy. Let's do the bad guys now, the anti-heroes. A Kraven the Hunter movie, though, I don't know about that. It's like, just put him in a fucking Spider-Man movie and see what happens. It'd be different, that we haven't seen before. We have, how many Spider-Man movies? Let's do something different. Let's do it differently. Minnow1233 asks, if you were the head of DC and Warner Brothers, what would be the stuff you do? What would you announce? What would be starting lineup be if you could change actor? Jesus Christ, this is way too much, man. Way too much. I can't do it. I can't answer all that. I mean, the only thing I would do is just I would totally make sure I'd be Christopher Nolan with Zack Snyder when it came to Man of Steel. Keep the studio away. Let the directors do their shit. Let them cast whoever the fuck they want. And if it sounded way too extreme, then I'd probably be like, hey, let's bring it back just a little bit. Let's find a compromise. Find that. I also have an email one that somebody sent me. Hold on a sec. Let me pull that up because I saw that the other day and I was like, yeah, I'll answer that. It's from IMDG Tech. He said, hey, Dave, I got a question for you. Would you rather see the entire cut of Batman vs. Superman or the entire cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and why? Well, I'd rather see Justice League because we saw about 96, 97, 98% of Batman vs. Superman. I heard there's an extra 15 minutes. So we missed out on about 15, maybe 20 minutes of Batman vs. Superman. We missed out on a ton of Justice League. A shit ton. So yeah, I'm okay. I love the Ultimate Edition, the 3-hour cut. I'm perfectly okay with that. 15 minutes more? Sure. I'm sure. And from what I hear from someone who saw the extra 15 minutes, he said it's even better than the 3-hour cut. And I totally believe that. But what we saw with Justice League, the Whedon fucking 2-hour cut, is bullshit. And I would rather see the Snyder cut. 100%. Because, yeah, please. Even if that's cut down. Because what I heard, 3.5 hours, but they probably wouldn't have released that. Probably would have went cut down to 3. So, yeah, 100% that. All right, guys. It's been an hour. I'm going to head out now. I'm going to go to sleep, relax a little bit, watch the rest of the Giants game. And, yeah, I'll keep you updated. Hopefully I get this apartment. Hopefully I find something. And you know what? I'm not trying to police anybody. I'm not trying to, even when I talk to people online and they always get defensive. It's weird. I'm just like, I start asking questions. Why? Why would you comment like this? Or why would you say this? Why would you boycott that? And they immediately go on the defensive. Because, and I get it. Because we've been defending this franchise for, 5 years? We have. I get it. But when in every little thing that comes at you, you get on the defense or you welcome the trolls, that's just a tactic that's just no longer working because that'll be used against you. Like the Wall Street Journal article. And they could have went way worse. They could have chose some fans and posted their tweets and could have really made the Snyder Cut movement fans look like Looney Tunes. Big time. But they didn't. Luckily, Ben Fritz didn't. So, yeah. To me, I'm not... Yeah, do whatever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not trying to fucking, police anybody. I'm just trying to be like... I ask questions and I'm like, what's that going to benefit? In the long run, what does it benefit? That's the way I look at it. After defending... and trying and calling out some of these websites that were saying stuff about Justice League behind the scenes turned out to be right. You know how sickening that felt? God. I'm not going to lie. I felt like it's just not doing YouTube anymore after Justice League came out. I really did. I felt like my integrity suffered a little bit because I didn't know how... When I did my first reaction, when I did the follow-up video of the first reaction, you can go back to it. I was much more nice than I should have been. But inside I was like, oh my God, they fucked him. But I didn't say that, and I should have. But I was like, I don't want to ruin this for everybody. Yeah, it was difficult. That was a difficult day. I did not know what the fuck to say on my first reaction review of Justice League. And you could tell. Go back to that video. You could go watch it. But I didn't want to ruin it for everybody. And then people were even questioning, like, what did that mean? And I did a follow-up video. And I still was trying to be as positive as possible. But I did say in the video, like, there's so much I want to say about it. And I'm always about integrity. I always say have some integrity, man. And I kind of choked then. Because it's just everything that I defended. Everything that we all defended. Just came back and took turns. It was like in the movie Airplane. chick's freaking out, and everybody's in line to just slap her in the face to tell her to settle down. I felt like every little bit that I fucking defended just came back and just slapped me in the face, one by one. Like, yeah, these guys were right, and so were these guys. Yeah. It's not a good feeling. That's why I'm like, all right, let's try to be better. But if you don't want to be, fine. But when people come at you, don't play victim. Fuck off with that shit. Don't act like entitled children. Just don't. Alright, guys. Well, it's been fun. Follow me. Twitter, all that stuff. Ask me questions. Use the Film Junket podcast hashtag. And I'll talk to you guys later. 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 I'll talk to you guys later.